I'm going to walk through this sum and make it really easy and clear. So we want to add up all these fractions, 1 over 1 plus square root 2 plus 1 over square root 2 plus square root 3, all the way up to 1 over square root 99 plus square root 100. And the first step when you're adding a bunch of fractions is maybe make a common denominator. But to make a common denominator, you're going to have to multiply all the denominators, which looks really complex. So let's set that aside for now and try to think of an alternative approach. And the alternative approach we're going to think through is, what does each fraction actually represent? How do we make sense of the square root in the denominator? So let's get to that. So the trick when you think about square roots in the denominator is you want to think about the difference of squares formula. So we're just going to briefly review this. So the difference of squares formula tells you that a minus b times a plus b, so I'll write a plus b times a minus b, is equal to a squared minus b squared. Now the point of this formula is, if a and b are square roots of something, like we have in the denominators of our fractions here, then multiplying with a minus b is going to get rid of the square roots because it's going to square a and square b. That's the idea. So for example, if we take 1 plus square root 2 and we multiply with 1 minus square root 2, okay, so we just multiply by what's called the conjugate, we just flip the sign between the two square roots, then what we're going to get is we're going to get a is 1, b is root 2. We're going to get a squared minus b squared, which is 1 squared minus root 2 squared, which is going to equal to 1 minus 2, which is equal to negative 1. Okay, so that's pretty cool. We've gotten rid of the square roots. But now we can think of it in terms of fractions. And don't forget to smash that like button right now if you're enjoying the content. It makes a world of difference to my channel to help me support and help as many people as possible to love and enjoy math. And so let's now look at what happens with this fraction. So we've got 1 over 1 plus root 2. And we're going to do the trick. We know that if we multiply 1 plus root 2 with something, we can get rid of the square roots. Let's do that. But then if we have a fraction, we have to do that to top and bottom. So what we need to do is we need to multiply top by 1 minus square root 2, and we also need to multiply the bottom by 1 minus square root 2. So we get 1 plus square root 2 times 1 minus square root 2, and you see here that basically by multiplying both the top and bottom, we're just multiplying by 1, because technically the 1 minus root 2 on top and bottom will cancel. But what this does is it moves all the complexity to the numerator, which is very helpful in dealing with fractions when the denominator is complicated. Okay, it's a very fundamental math trick, good to master it. So we have 1 plus root 2 times 1 minus root 2, which is 1 squared minus root 2 squared, which you've seen is negative 1, and that's just going to end up being root 2 minus 1. Okay, so our first fraction is just going to equal to root 2 minus 1. That's pretty cool. Now let's figure out what this is going to happen to the sum now. All right, so the same pattern continues. Okay, so I'm going to show you what happens to 1 over root 2 plus root 3. And you can just to get a feeling for what we've done. Again, what do we want to do? We want to multiply top and bottom by the conjugate, which is you just flip the sign of plus to a minus in the denominator, okay, between the two square roots. So we multiply the top by root 2 minus root 3, and we also multiply the bottom by root 2 minus root 3. And of course, when we do that, we're just multiplying by 1 because this technically cancels off. So we're not changing the fraction, but what we are doing is we're simplifying the denominator. A minus b times a plus b, a squared minus b squared. So a is root 2, b is root 3. We get root 2 squared, which is 2, root 3 squared, which is 3. So we get 2 minus 3. On the bottom, so we get root 2 minus root 3, and then we get 2 minus 3 on the bottom, which is negative 1. So that just becomes root 3 minus root 2. Okay, so what we see here is that this fraction became root 2 minus root 1. This one became root 3 minus root 2. So we see a pattern, and I'm going to write it down here. So let's now write out what the sum should be. So this is going to be root 2 minus 1. This is going to be root 3 minus root 2. So we're going to add on root 3 minus root 2. And it's going to keep going. And we're going to get all the way up to root 100 minus root 99. Okay, it's the same trick each and every time. You can even play around with it as practice and get a sense of it. So now let's look at what happens to this sum. It's what's called a telescoping sum because terms cancel nicely. So here, for example, the root 2 cancels with the negative root 2. Okay, so the negative root 2 cancels with the previous term. The root 3 is going to cancel with the negative root 3 here. Okay, the next term, just to give you an illustration, will be root 4 minus root 3. Okay, so it's going to keep going, right? So you're going to have the root 3's, negative root 3 is going to cancel. The root 4 is going to cancel the next negative root 4, and it's going to keep on going. And the negative root 99 is going to cancel the previous plus root 99. And what we're going to get is we're going to get minus 1 plus root 100. Minus 1 plus root 100, well, root 100 is just 10. So minus 1 plus 10 is just 9. 10 minus 1, which is 9. That is our answer. How cool is that? And I've got two fun videos for you. The first video is, what about the following sum, which would be 1 plus 1 over 2 plus 1 over 6 plus 1 over 12 plus 1 over 20. What's the pattern in this sum and how to find this? An infinite sum this time. How to find this out in just 1 minute. And 5th graders can come up with this trick. You're going to love the video. It's going to pop up on the screen. Very short and fun video. And another fun video you're going to love is, what about this infinite sum? 1 plus half plus 1/3. The numbers get smaller and smaller. You're eventually adding up 1 over a million, 1 over a million and 1. But actually, this ends up being infinity. How is that possible? Check out the video there. It's going to pop up on the screen. Very popular video on my channel. Have an amazing day.